AI was supposed to make software cheaper. At Uber, it reportedly consumed a full year of AI coding tool budget by April. At Microsoft, one major division began taking Claude Code licenses away and moving employees toward GitHub Copilot CLI. That does not mean the tools failed. It means companies gave AI a job, forgot to give it a spending limit, and discovered that productive intelligence can still become an uncontrolled bill. Every time an AI agent reads another file, retries a failed test, searches a larger code base, or rewrites its own plan, the work may look automatic. But the meter keeps moving. And that creates the value shift in this episode. The next valuable layer of enterprise AI may not be the model that can do the most. It may be the system that decides which model gets used, how long it is allowed to work, and when it has to stop. For the last 2 years, companies have measured AI adoption. How many employees have access? How many prompts are being sent? How many teams are using coding agents? Now they are being forced to measure something harder. What did each useful result actually cost? That question sounds obvious, but most companies were not built to answer it. Traditional business software is usually easy to budget. You buy 100 seats. You know roughly what the annual contract will cost. Whether an employee opens the software 5 times or 50 times rarely creates 50 separate bills. AI looks similar on the surface. An employee sees a subscription, opens a chat window, and starts working. Underneath, it can behave very differently. Some products still charge a flat seat price. But behind that seat are tokens, credits, compute limits, premium requests, and rate caps. The employee sees a tool. The company sees variable consumption. And agents multiply that consumption because an agent does not simply answer. It acts. A chatbot may respond to one question and stop. A coding agent can inspect a repository, build a plan, open files, write code, run tests, read the errors, revise the plan, call another tool, and try again. One request from the employee can become dozens of model calls behind the screen. That is why the best analogy is not a normal software license. It is a taxi with a very capable driver and a meter you cannot see from the back seat. If the destination is clear, the ride can be a bargain. If the instructions are vague, the driver can circle the city while still appearing busy. The uncomfortable part is that both rides generate activity. Only one clearly creates value. Imagine a developer gives an agent a specific problem. Paying customers cannot complete checkout after a recent update. The agent finds the broken function, proposes a small fix, runs the relevant tests, and saves an engineer an hour. The company can compare the cost of the agent with the value of the time saved and the revenue protected. Now imagine the task is, improve onboarding. The agent reads old tickets, product notes, analytic summaries, design documents, and dozens of files. It produces a large change. Tests fail. It retries. A human reviews the result and realizes the code does not address why users are leaving. The agent worked for an hour. The meter worked for an hour too. But the company did not buy an outcome. It bought motion. That is the difference enterprise buyers are starting to care about. Not cost per token and not even cost per employee, but cost per useful completed task. Uber is an important signal because the reported problem was not a lack of adoption. It was the opposite. Employees used the tool so aggressively that the annual AI coding budget was reportedly exhausted in 4 months. That is what success without measurement looks like. A company can celebrate rising usage while finance sees a spending curve with no clear ceiling. It can rank teams by how much AI they use while failing to rank them by how much useful work the AI completes. The metric creates the behavior. If employees are rewarded for using more AI, they will use more AI. If teams are judged by cost per accepted pull request, cost per resolved customer issue, or cost per hour genuinely saved, they will use AI differently. Microsoft points to the same shift from another direction. The company reportedly began removing many Claude Code licenses from its Experiences and Devices group and steering employees toward GitHub Copilot CLI. The public story was not simply that Claude Code was bad. It had become popular internally. The deeper signal is that large companies do not want their most important workflows spread across tools they cannot fully standardize, observe, route, or control. Owning the interface means more than owning the logo. It means controlling where requests go, which models answer them, what employees are allowed to spend, and what data management can see. This is where the value moves. During the first phase of enterprise AI, model quality controlled the conversation. Companies asked which model was smartest and which assistant employees liked most. During the next phase, model quality becomes one input inside a control system. A simple task may go to a small, cheap model. A difficult architectural decision may go to a premium reasoning model. A sensitive task may stay inside a private environment. An agent may receive a maximum budget before it starts. A second model may verify the result instead of allowing the first model to loop forever. A manager may see the cost of a workflow before approving it. The valuable product is no longer just intelligence. It is intelligence with routing, limits, visibility, and a stop button. Cloud computing followed a similar pattern. At first, the cloud removed friction. A developer could create infrastructure in minutes instead of waiting months for hardware. Then companies discovered idle servers, oversized instances, duplicate environments, and bills nobody could explain. The cloud did not become less important when cost management arrived. It became mature enough to require financial discipline. AI is reaching that moment much faster because agents can consume resources at machine speed. A human employee can waste an afternoon. A poorly governed agent can repeat the same expensive mistake across hundreds of employees at once. There is an obvious counterargument. Models are becoming cheaper. Token prices will fall. Smaller models will improve. More work will run locally. Competition will push vendors to offer better deals. All of that may happen. It still does not remove the meter. When a resource becomes cheaper, companies often use much more of it. Cheaper models make it practical to give agents larger contexts, more tools, longer tasks, and more opportunities to retry. More employees receive access. More departments automate workflows. More background agents keep running when no human is watching. The cost of one unit falls while the number of units explodes. So the future is not simply expensive AI or cheap AI. It is governed AI. The winning enterprise stack will decide three things before the bill arrives. First, which level of intelligence does this task actually need? Second, how much is a successful result worth? Third, what condition forces the agent to stop? Those questions shift power away from a world where every task is sent to the most impressive model by default. They favor the platforms that sit between employees and models. The routing layer, the observability layer, the workflow system, the budget dashboard, the company that can compare models by cost per accepted outcome rather than benchmark score. They also change what enterprise buyers demand from model vendors. "We are smarter" is not enough. Buyers will ask, "Can you make the bill predictable? Can you show where the tokens went? Can we set limits by team, project, and task? Can the agent recognize when another attempt is unlikely to improve the result? Can we switch models without rebuilding the workflow?" The model can still be powerful, but the control layer becomes the gatekeeper. This is also why unlimited access will become harder to defend. Companies do not give every employee an unlimited cloud account with no logging and no budget. They will eventually treat AI the same way. High-value teams may receive larger allowances. Routine tasks may be pushed toward cheaper models. Expensive agents may require approval. Repeated failures may trigger automatic shutdown. Finance and engineering may share the same dashboard. That may sound less exciting than a new model launch. It is also where a durable business can be built. The model creates capability. The control layer turns capability into something a company can safely buy at scale. So watch what changes in enterprise AI contracts. Watch for unlimited plans to acquire more credits, caps, and fair use rules. Watch for dashboards that move beyond total tokens and show cost per task, per pull request, or per resolved ticket. Watch for automatic model routing to become a default feature rather than an advanced option. And watch which vendors can tell a CFO not just what their AI can do, but what a useful result will probably cost before the work begins. Microsoft and Uber are not proof that AI coding has failed. They are signs that AI has become important enough to ration. The first battle was access to intelligence. The next battle is control of consumption. Once every useful AI action has a price, the power moves to whoever can decide when that price is worth paying. If your company had to choose tomorrow, would it give every employee unlimited access to the smartest model, or put a budget on every agent? Tell me in the comments. The headline is temporary. The meter is not. The value shift is not.